Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between Evil Genius's Huck versus Complexity's Naniwa here on Tall Dareem Altar, keeping in the tradition and the spirit of so many mirror matches. I am now going into a Protoss versus Protoss mirror match. I promise to get away from this, but this is one of the games that I did want to see Huck versus Naniwa in the from MLG Providence in the later rounds. I don't want to give too much away, but I am planning on casting the finals, just because I've heard those games are really strong, really great, and has really changed the meta game in Zerg versus Protoss. Now, Naniwa spawning as the blue Protoss here at what I'll call the 4 o'clock position. Meanwhile, on the top side of the map at the 1 or 2 o'clock position, we do have Huck. Now, both players pretty much building things exactly at the same time. Huck slightly ahead in terms of overall. Now just going to continue to chrono boost out more and more probes. So it looks like they'll be going perhaps for a 12 or 13 gateway. Now it looks like Huck will be going for that gateway down over here, and now already starting his scouting. Meanwhile, we can see that Naniwa is just an ever slight second behind, but I do believe that he did chrono boost his probes a little bit more. Huck now making his way down into here. We'll see. Did he do the little heart? I can't quite tell. Some of the times you will see that that Huck does do a little bit of a scout with a heart on his units, but I don't see that this time around, as Huck now just wanders in and will quickly figure out where Naniwa is and get a lot of important scouting information. Now, scouting information very important in the mirror match, because Protoss versus Protoss, also a very volatile matchup where a lot more micro and a lot of range units are very important. You can see now Huck just wandering around on the inside with this probe. The probe, however, not getting taken down. And currently, just very nicely done by Huck. Huck is purposely trying to mine from minerals and then stopping right when the minerals would go into the probe's hands or mouth, and then going back in for that once more. So we'll see how all of that works right now. He's going to try to harvest those minerals, able to pull one away, and now trying to harvest once again. Now able to harvest and just disrupt the mining here. Meanwhile, still no scouting coming in from Naniwa, as we now see a second gateway and a cybernetics core is starting to warp in, and now we also see an earlier zealot come in from Huck. So Huck getting an early zealot, and now also going to run straight in with that stalker. So we'll see how all of this works out. That zealot does have a very long way to run if it is going to get on the inside of this base, but Naniwa is not training any units. This is really going to hurt him in the long run. He is finally now starting to get that stalker, but I believe a stalker will be joining him over here, and then we may get a proxy pylon here by Huck, perhaps hiding it along the far side in the fog of war. And then units will be engaging in just a moment. Huck applying pressure with the gateway units that he trained back at home, and then perhaps going to use that proxy pylon to warp in units straight inside that base, moving home field advantage. Naniwa, however, looking to perhaps push in, as there is a zealot now coming in. The zealot perhaps going to try to get some damage, just going straight into the mineral line here, as there is a pylon currently warping in. One probe may get taken down. The zealot is currently just trying to wander around here, as in comes the stalker. The stalker now wanting to get in some damage here, but getting stopped by Naniwa's stalker that just spawned. Absolutely brilliant timing, as Huck now runs away. It looks like he did lose that zealot, but unbeknownst to him, Huck already has a pylon in his base, and now gonna have 3 additional gateways, and now chrono boosting out that warp gate tech. One more chrono boost would make it perfect. Is he gonna be able to warp in? Yes, he has a second pylon as a backup, as there is now currently 2 stalkers, and Huck is just baiting Naniwa right now. So Naniwa moving back with those stalkers, gonna try to utilize high ground, able to utilize high ground, getting in a little bit more damage there. Huck wanting to see what's going to happen here. Now going to continue to press in. There is the stalkers. Will they find it? Yes, the stalkers do find that one proxy pylon. There is a second proxy pylon. Now stalkers are warping in straight as they come in, and here is the engagement. Here we go. Huck now trying to deal damage back and forth. Both sides are reinforcing. Stalkers are falling on both left and right, as Naniwa in a little bit of trouble. Actually, no, Naniwa actually taking this very nicely with a lot of natural defense. He does have a lot of low hit point stalkers, and now it's really going to come down to those warp-ins and the cooldown on those warp-ins. Another round of units coming in from Huck. Naniwa currently at 39, Huck at 34, as the Zealots need to now perhaps try to push in and engage once more. The Zealots are in the front. They will be trying to absorb some of that damage. One stalker goes down. both sides. Another Stalker going to go down as the Zealots are engaging. The Zealots, a very strong meat shield here, as more Stalkers are still warping in. The Stalker now backing off here, chrono boosting on the warp gates, trying to reduce that cooldown. The Zealots need to recharge some of those shields. Another Zealot being added here, and both sides once again re-engaging, and Huck doing a great job, able to focus and deal a lot of damage. Zealots are continuing to fall as the probes are now coming off the mineral line. This is going to kind of hurt Naniwa's overall economy, as he's not going to be able to warp in any more units due to the loss in resources, as the Stalkers are still engaging, and Huck beautifully saving many of his low hit point units. So Huck, with a lot of low hit point units, now going to start engaging against the Cybernetics Core, applying pressure elsewhere. They do not want to take any serious damage whatsoever, as the Zealots are now running into the mineral line here, and Huck engaging, gonna deal a lot of damage to those Stalkers. More Stalkers still coming in. Zealots are gonna engage. This one Stalker needs to back off. Huck finally moving that one Stalker away. It looks like it is gonna be smart and stay alive for a little bit longer once again. Huck are down to 1 hit point on that Stalker. Finally gets a shot down there, but Naniwa exchanging a lot of hit points in that engagement. Worker kill count 11 for Huck, and that is gonna really hurt him in the long run. Currently, Huck does have 7 more harvest or 6 more harvesters right now, as the Stalkers are re-engaging. This one Stalker needs to move to the back, perhaps, and let those shields naturally recharge. And it looks like those Stalkers are going to engage in just a moment. Zealots are down over here, and here comes the engagement once more. Naniwa backing off, running away from Stalkers, but those Zealots not fast enough, taking more damage still, and still a crazy battle here. And I really think Naniwa, by pulling those probes off, hurt himself in the long run. Zealots are still warping in down over here. 1 gateway is down, so 1 warp gate reinforcements will be coming in even slower, as Huck's still operating off of 4, and there is the GG. So Naniwa losing to Huck here on Tal Darim Altar. I really think Naniwa pulled those probes perhaps a little bit prematurely, lost a lot of those probes, and it just really hurt him in the long run. Losing 7 probes, being down on harvesters, I really just have to say that Huck's micro in that final battle, spot on, able to deal damage and then pull away with those lower hit point Stalkers. A couple of times you saw Stalkers down in the red, somewhere in the 15 to 20 hit point range, and then just have those shields naturally recharge and then come back in for more DPS. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 1 in this series. Stay tuned for Game 2.